Hello, I am roaringbug, and welcome to my Sims 4 speed build. Today I am making that house you're seeing in that picture. This house is called the Blair Stokes house. It was made for a wealthy man in California, in Archaea, California, for Dr. Fred Bangs. It was made by two very predominant architects at the time. Their names are Samuel and Joseph C. Newsom. And that house was built in 1888. So I saw this house in a clickbaity kind of video for like fancy Victorian houses in California. And I thought this was a very beautiful looking house. So I went online and I found a picture of it on Pinterest, and I didn't look for like the floor plan or anything. I just thought I could do this house based off the picture. So this video is actually part 1 of 2. This video is just for the shell of the house, so it's going to be unfurnished. My second video will be just furnishing the house. So if you want to see that video, I'll try and get it up soon so you can watch it. So right now what you're seeing is me putting down all of these pillars, and one of the things I knew I could do with this house is use some build elements from the Realm of Magic. So the Realm of Magic has the shoehorn archway that I added in the front. It also has round windows, which is, now that I think about it, I don't know if that's really a Victorian style. It's more, because Realm of Magic is more of a Art Deco style. Or, yeah, it's not really that style, but it works, and I melded a bunch of styles together anyway. So now I'm just mapping out what this house is supposed to look like. I kind of pieced it together from 2 pictures. One picture I had the house dead on from the front, and one I had a little off to the side, which showed the right side of the house. So the rest of the house I'm just making it up as I go, as you do. So that thing I made first is going to be the tower of the house. So now I'm just doing the roof. I just put down this roof, and I'm going to do a double roof, and I made it really big so it wouldn't get lost under that first roof piece that I put down. So I'm just pulling it out, and then I'm going to push it in so that I just have a little peek of that roof on the top there. So I spared you seeing me trying to get that roof to look just so. I just wanted the angles to match up. And now I am putting this 8-sided roof piece down to cover the tower and raising that roof, that 3rd floor. And I'm doubling up the roof for the topper for that tower. So I think that looks pretty good. And now I'm just putting a trim all around that roof. So next thing I'm going to do is get this round window from the Realm of Magic and line it up with the entrance. So yeah, at first you're just seeing I put it off to the side, and I'm like, no, it should match with the entranceway. I know it looks a little bare bones right now, but eventually it'll come together. So I use move objects so I can put these pillars all around. If you hold the shift key while you have an item selected, you can just put down multiples at the same time. And I use these Realm of Magic stained glass windows, which I think really matches the style for this house. And I'm going to put these pillars all around the tower. And this house is mainly red and blue. I based it off the picture, but I don't know if the picture is true to the colors. of the house, because I feel like that image might be a little bit saturated. So now I'm trying to figure out how to roof this side bump out for a porch. It's kind of an unusual shape, and it's really hard trying to figure out how to put this roof piece around it, but I kind of knew what I was doing with this trick here, overlaying different roof pieces together. And I just put a platform there to fill in all the little odd pieces overlapping. Unfortunately, you'll see this weird gap when two roof pieces touch each other. So a way to work around that is to put a one tile platform down so that the platform is visible instead of the roof pieces seen together being visible. So since it's an unusual shape, I just put down a room, raised it up one, and then deleted it. So I can overlap these roof pieces and you ain't gonna see that weird trim into the void. So I put down this one little roof piece and I'm using these vampire windows. I've never really used those vampire windows before because I never know what side is going to be on the outside. I was like, the fancy or the plain? But in this case, I knew I wanted the fancy parts to be on the outside. And because I have move objects on, I can put a stairwell leading up to that archway. If not, I don't think it would work. If you don't have move objects on, it's just going to say it's intersecting. And those railings are from the Oasis Court kit, which is a Moroccan style kit. And I really love that kit. I think it's really beautiful. And I really think it's a shame that The Sims doesn't have a Moroccan world to place those Moroccan items. I've tried to fudge it in the base game world in Oasis Springs, but I feel like it's just not the same. And I just put a red foundation all around the house, which kind of matches the rest of the build. And those vampire windows just end up everywhere. I felt like this roof needed a little something, so I put the stained glass there. And I alt placed it in the right place. And I changed all the stained glass to the butterfly print. And for this bump out, I put a roof over it. It's a really weird bump out. It's like a tri-folded window on the first floor, and then it's just a flat rectangular piece on the second floor. But you know, it's the style, so that's what I did. And for some reason, this house has this side entrance, and I guess it's for like delivery people or servants, you know, workers for the house to, you know, like a side entrance into the house. I think it's for like delivery stuff. But yeah, it's there. It's interesting that it's there. And like I said, I just put the vampire windows everywhere. I think they're the right size for this style of house. Okay, so I'm just alt placing those windows, and that is a base game door that comes in blue, and I was so happy. And now I'm alt placing these windows together, and I spared you watching me trying to get it in the right spot, and I just moved the house one tile back because I needed just a little bit more room. And that red tree is from Snowy Escape, which is the Japan Land kit pack, sorry. And that is a base game rosebush. And this landscaping is very much what looks like in the picture. And now I'm just messing with the eaves. I don't know why. I basically put the eaves back to where I originally had them. And it's all because I was trying to figure out if they would overlap these corbels. When I had the corbels down the first time with the roofs, with the eaves down, they actually got lost. And I was like, God, you can't even see them. So I was like, no, the roof is going back to the way it was before. And I put this bump out because I thought this side of the house looked too plain. And this is me just making stuff up now because I didn't have a picture of this side of the house. And I knew I could probably just wing it, so that's what I did. So now I'm in the inside of the house, and now I'm just working on the interior. So I made this entranceway, and I just brought in more of those horseshoe arches, and I just use a fence to make this open staircase, this stairwell here. And I just put down some banisters so everything's matchy-matchy, and use some items from the vampire kit. So that chandelier and that floor tiling is from vampires. And I didn't really do too much design. I just used that same white panel wallpaper. And I put this this porch bump out in the back of the house. So this porch, it's centered, but eventually it becomes off-centered. So I'm not going to explain. This is not its final form. Eventually it'll change. Because when I end up doing the interior floor plan, I realize I had so many doors and I needed them all to be on one side. So eventually everything just inches closer to the right of the house. But right now it looks like a fancy 2-stairway porch into the yard. But again, it ain't gonna stay that way. So now I'm just putting down different windows because I realize the vampire windows are too big. So these are base game windows, but I like them because they came in a blue swatch. So now I'm putting down a chimney in the only flat part of the house I've got left. So I don't know, use the basic chimney and I just put it together. And I like having my chimneys align with my fireplaces. So the fireplace is going to be located with where that chimney is. And this is me just messing with that back porch again. I'm sorry, it just goes through so many revisions. And after that, I'm pretty sure I move on to other parts of the build. But yeah, I'm just changing it around. And I put a railing on this side porch. It didn't have one at the time, but I figure I'm kind of taking liberties here. So I just decided to change it to, I don't know, to be more to what I want it to look like. And this is what the interior layout is. And I put down that fireplace from Cats and Dogs. So that little side room, that's going to be a bathroom. And now I'm just going to go to the second floor. So I don't know about you, but when I do bedrooms, I always need a bed. So that bed is going to help me figure out space. There is no bed in this shell, but I just needed a bed to help me figure out where everything is going. So eventually this house becomes like a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house. So the larger room in the back is going to be the master bedroom. So that is the primary bedroom. And that room off to the side in the hallway, that's going to be the shared bathroom. And I just marked it off with tiles. But, you know, if you have this shell and you don't like the layout, you're more than welcome to change it. I mean, you know, it's your house. After you get it off the gallery, it's yours to do with as you will. So I put down these basic lights they're like base game ones in the bedrooms, because if it were a fancy house, you'd only have your fancier lights on the first floor. And this is when I've realized I should put a little bump out on this area here in the room, just so that that doorway to that third bedroom in the corner isn't smushed on one tile. So that is more or less the layout. And I put down some more windows next to the chimney because that bedroom in the middle doesn't have any windows if I didn't do it. And I put down some more corbels on the roof of the house. So they're kind of like just one half tile in, and just trying to move it ever so slightly, because sometimes the placement gets thrown off if you have a platform. And I moved these corbels a little bit more aligned with the windows. And now I'm putting these fancy trims. So if you want down, like if you want to put down like a trim, like one wall at a time, you can by holding the shift key. So I did that so I can mix up my trims. So like the trims for the bump outs are going to be different from the ones on this side of the house. And right now I am just working on the trims and a little bit more of the landscape. Eventually I'll work on a walk, like a pathway to that house. So there you go. That is the stone pathway. And I move everything over. And I just want the pathway to lead to the side entrance of the house. So as I'm doing this, I realize that the stairway in the back porch should lead to the porch area on the other side. So I got rid of that and moved the stairs on this side, which I think makes a lot more sense. So now the next thing I'm going to do, oh, I grabbed a window by mistake and I just put it back. Yeah, it looks like I'm just still working on trims. And I wanted like a platform on this bump out, so I just made a room and got rid of it after I raised the platform one. I only do that because it's an unusual shape. So now I am getting rid of some of the tile in the backyard, and I'm just moving some more in the front. And now I'm putting down a fence. So this is a brick fence, it's base game, and I think it works for the style of this house. And to make sure no one goes into the backyard, I close it off with this fence. And I got rid of that spandrel because it was overlapping, and I put these rounded archways on that porch. And I put some outdoor lighting and a couple of flower boxes and a topper, and that is from Get Famous. And now I'm putting down some more plants from base game. And I realized that if you get the plants from base game, like these bushes, if you get them from the build and buy, they're actually a little bit smaller than if you get it from debug. And I didn't really realize that until I had both of them out at the same time. So I'm just putting down a little bit of foliage here and there, a little bit of the plants, and a tree. And I alt placed that tree. And I thought the front could use a little bit more structure, so I put a fence around the planters here. And I just moved those outdoor lightings off to the side. And I moved that mailbox. So I think it looks a little bit more neater being in a planter like that with that fence. And just a little bit more plants and a little bit of terrain paint. I'm not that heavy-handed with terrain paint. I just do a little bit at here and there, and just a little bit more greenery in the backyard. And a little bit more terrain paint off to the side. So that should be it. So if you like this build, again, you can get off the gallery at roaringbug. Please like, subscribe, or leave me a comment. Thank you. Goodbye.